and I tell people, this border is so complicated. It isn't just about whether you feel strongly one way or the other about the fence and the system that goes along with it, what your politics are. No matter what, the people that are caught in the middle, or certainly the migrants that are coming, because they're getting, manipulated by the smugglers, by the cartels, all the way from, point of origin to destination, and then, certainly the ICE agents, the Border Patrol agents, the customs officers that are getting villainized for doing their job. That's a tough one.
How do you deal with the emotion of knowing that Congress, the administration, the people in power could be doing stuff that they're not doing?
We keep reminding our workforce that, we're servants. We serve our communities, we serve, and what we protect isn't just the border. We're protecting the nation. I tell people all the time. You've got a humanitarian crisis, which has created a border security crisis for us that have been doing this for an awful long time, and this is all being driven by a policy crisis. And until we fix the policy crisis, we're going to continue to deal with those other two.
So I'm saying the men and women who are in the job of knowing the reality, do you think that they get what they're sleeping on here?
Yes. Yeah, I do. I do think that there is some certainly political jockeying that's going on. I think they're sleeping on it, and I think that they're ignoring it to some extent. And it's sad that, we have a workforce that is getting stretched awfully thin right now. We've got to give them some relief, and, having DOD resources come in, having other agencies support us is helpful. But it's not the same as replacing them with a Border Patrol agent or an ICE officer or a customs officer out there. They're not interchangeable.
Now, these guys set up so far as guys who were looking here for opportunity. They were coming through for work.
Economic migrants. Most of these folks that we experience here along the southwest border are economic migrants.
Now, if these were women and children, whoever they were, you believe that if you change some of the rules, you would change the flow?
Yeah, definitely. There has to be an adjustment to the policy. You got to be able to retain people longer than 20 days so they can hear, or their case can be heard by an immigration judge or an asylum officer, so they can make a determination as to whether they should actually receive some sort of relief.
That's an important thing. You guys get hit with a stick all the time. I'll tell you, Ortiz, why you want to keep them more than 20 days. You want to keep them more than 20 days to send a message of harshness and let people know, to be afraid that they're going to catch you and they're going to keep you and you're going to hate where you are. You're telling me a different story today, though, in terms of why you need to do that.
Yeah, so for us, we're not in the detention business. We're border security experts. We apprehend, we process, and we turn them over to the other agencies that are out there.
So it's a domino effect. You can only keep them 20 days. You don't have the resources to keep this many people anyway, so you got to get rid of them. You got to let them go. That gets perceived as weakness. Now you're doing catch and release again. That feeds the chance that we should come because we're going to get a good chance of getting through the system because they're overwhelmed, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, this becomes a cycle. Like I said, this is played out in 2014. It's playing out again here in 2019. And until we actually fix the system, this is going to continue to be a problem for us.
And another problem that I don't hear talked about that often is you're worried about them. You're worried about being able to take care of them, being able to take care of the kids, deal with them when they're sick, being able to give them the things that they need. Because overcapacity means you can't give the care that you want to give. The harshness doesn't work for you. You're saying you don't have any other choice.
Yeah, at double our capacity right now, I don't have enough medics. I don't have enough Border Patrol agents to ensure that these folks are getting processed within the 48 hours that we should be processing them. We're having to keep people in custody longer. Our agents are getting assaulted. Potentially could be a liability where even one of the individuals that are in custody could be assaulted in detention facilities that are overcrowded. These folks just crossed the river. The river is about half a mile, maybe a quarter of a mile south of us.
So obviously they know we're here.
If they turn themselves in, they are looking for a Border Patrol agent to turn themselves in right now. And so typically you've got us with a large group already apprehended up here on the levee. You've got this group, and probably another 10 or 15 minutes, you're going to have another group behind them and another group behind them. These are unaccompanied children and family units. They're not trying to evade apprehension.
I know you have to shut off a part of yourself when you do the job, because you got a job to do, you got to be professional. I know this breaks your heart, seeing people who have nothing, who've come here with nothing. Most of them are desperate. They're all carrying these babies. How do you handle this?
I'm a father. I'm a grandfather. Somebody needs to do something about this. This goes on each and every day. Our officers are dealing with this each and every day. And until, folks in Congress, folks at the White House, folks on Capitol Hill actually put forth an honest effort to address the situation here on the border. It's not just a humanitarian crisis, it's a border security crisis. We've talked about that it's being driven by a policy crisis. Certainly it pulls at our heartstrings, but I'm awfully proud of the work the men and women are doing down here. Very vigilant in what they're doing and very dedicated to the mission. But this is tough.
When you look at these babies, you care about these people.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
You're not a cop looking at perps.
No, these folks have done nothing other than cross the border illegally, and most of them are economic migrants. They're looking for a better way of life, understanding all of that, but they shouldn't have to do it this way. They should be able to apply for some sort of immigration relief in their home country without having to travel, 3,000 or 4,000 miles.
Now, I keep hearing from your men and women that you make a point to go up to kids and say, you're going to be all right. It's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. Why is that so important?
Well, for once in their journey, this is the first time that they're not going to be exploited. They're not going to be manipulated by a smuggler. They're not going to be forced to pay a bribe at some point during that route. Officers are going to make sure that they're fed, or make sure that they get clean clothes, that they're looked at by a doctor, so if they have any medical ailments. So we're doing everything we can in our power to ensure that they're safe. That's all. We want to let them know that they're safe now.